Hello and welcome to this short tutorial of how to play the song Ladybug by Josh Turner. He's one of my favorite artists on YouTube, and I really enjoyed the challenge of playing the song. This is not necessarily a beginner piece, especially if you're kind of hardwired to think in standard tuning. In standard tuning, it would sound like... Oof. So the first thing that you got to know is that this E drops down to a D. And then this G right here drops down to an F sharp. This is called open D tuning. This B right here drops down to an A, and of course this E drops down to a D. Now, I mean, you can take more time and do it more exact, but I think this will be fine. Now, as for where you put the capo, on the studio version of this, on As Good a Place as Any, Josh puts it on the 6th fret, which sounds like that, but on the live version, he'll put it on the 7th fret. Just, I guess, to stay true to the studio recording, we'll put it on the 6th fret for now, but it really doesn't matter where you play this. So first thing is kind of the intro is the same as the chorus for this. So I'm going to do something a little bit different. Instead of referring to it as the actual fret, I'm just going to say that this is fret 0. And so this would be the 4th fret. We're starting on the 4th fret. So this is what the intro kind of looks like. Okay, so you can see that there's a lot of open type chords there, and it's based around this tonic chord, the 1 chord. So we're going to go thumb, first finger, index finger, I'm not thinking today, and then 4th fret, 4th fret open. So 4th fret open, then 2nd fret, and then we're going to go to the 4th fret on the, I'm just going to call it the B string, because normally it is the B string. It goes like this so far. So it slides down. And then at that point, you put your first finger on the 1st fret of the what would be the G string. So this is the next move that you got to do here. While you have your first finger here and your 3rd finger here on the B string, you've got to take your middle finger and put it on the 2nd fret of the E string. So at that point, you release this 3rd finger. And then you let that open string hang there while you move your 3rd finger to the 4th fret. So now you're going to have your 3rd finger on this first string here, and then your pinky's gonna be on the D string on the same fret, on the 4th fret, and your first finger is going to be here on the 2nd fret of the G string, and it's going to do that little hammer on right there. Okay? So what I'm doing there is I'm moving the pinky to the 4th fret of the B string right there. So now where we move from there, so this is the next formation. Your 3rd finger is on the 1st string right here on the 5th fret now. Your 2nd finger is on the G string on the 3rd fret, and your 1st finger is on the B string on the 2nd fret. Okay, good. Now that we've gotten there, so the next chord is a little bit of a shift from here to here. On the 3rd finger, you're back to the 4th fret on the 1st string, and then the 2nd finger is on the D string on the 2nd fret, and then your 1st finger is on the 1st fret of the B string. So it looks like. So you play. So all that is you're moving your pinky, and then you go back to here. So here's what that looks like. So this is the 3/1 chord. If you do the number system, if you don't worry about it. It's just the 3rd finger being on that 4th fret, and then the rest is open. Okay, so here's what it looks like from here. So right after you play Let Go, so now you've got this full chord. So it looks like. Right? So now to do that little fill that he does in the beginning, because up to this point, it's the same thing for the choruses and the intro and the outro, and pretty much all the same thing, except for he does this little thing, which is a. Right? So that's just playing the A string, and then this is on the 2nd fret. So it goes 2nd fret, open, 4th fret, open, and then the 4th fret on the 2nd string now, moving up to where both of these are the same note. So this chord right here is one that he ends up using a lot in the rest of the song, and it's the 2nd finger on the 2nd fret of the 2nd string, and then the 1st finger is on the 1st fret of the G string. So here's what that sounds like. So again, the whole intro really slowly is. Okay, so now that we've gone over the intros and essentially the choruses, here's what the verse sounds like. And then it goes back into the chorus that we just learned. So this is pretty simple. All you got to do is take your second finger, put it on the second fret of the second string, move it up to the 4th fret. So far that's. And then here's back to this chord again. And you can kind of pepper in this B string to taste. It just kind of depends on when he'll use it, or kind of use more of the advantage of having it being an open tuning during the song. But mainly it's these 3 strings. So again, that is and so here's where it gets interesting, is there's this chord right here, which is basically the same thing as what you've been playing this whole time, but now you switch the 3rd finger, so now it's the exact same chord, but then you place your 2nd finger on the 1st string. So it's that now. So it goes, say we're on the last time of the verse. So just kind of strum that, and then the next chord is kind of difficult. Take the same formation, but then your pinky goes on the 4th fret of the 2nd string, and kind of mute this this D string here. Again, that may not necessarily be how he plays it. You might want to look at the live version to kind of get a feel of maybe if he's a little bit more precise with his movements. But either way, the idea comes across. So the next chord is this. So you know how you had this chord here that we've been using? So it's basically the same thing, except it's shifted over here. So the 3rd string now is on the 2nd fret on the 2nd finger, that D string. And the chord is based around this A string as the root note. So that little fill right there, now you're kind of doing, if you were in standard tuning, this would be an A major 7th shape, but you're taking your 3rd finger and putting it on the 2nd fret, and then playing this open, the last string, the E string, and then while letting that E string ring, you want to play this note, which is the 4th fret of the B string. So that looks like, see how that on its own that wouldn't really sound that good, but because they're a semitone apart, but in this context it kind of gives it that floaty feel, right? And so the last thing that we're going to do is go, which is super simple, and then we'll be done. We'll be back to the, which is real nice. So after we go, so basically all you're doing is you're starting on the, and I'm sure you could use whatever finger for this, it's just more comfortable for me to use my 2nd finger. You're starting on the 2nd fret here, and you're kind of strumming the open chord while you do it. So it's, and then you're back to the chorus, and then all the choruses are the same, all the verses are the same. The only thing that would be different is on the last chorus. It's the same so far. So basically on this refrain, what you've got to do is walk up and play this chord that you've been playing before, which is the 4th fret on the 1st string, and then the 2nd fret on the D string, and then the 1st fret on the B string. So it sounds like, so that's the whole ending. Let me walk you through that. So it goes, then it's back to this other chord where the 5th fret on the 1st finger on the 1st string, and then the G string is on the 3rd fret and the B string is on the 2nd fret. So you just jump from here to here, and then it's that open chord but with the 1st finger on the 4th string. So it's, and then open, and then, and that part you can do, or you could do, it's kind of up to you, it's up to personal preference, but just mess around with that. But the final 4 chords here are open, so it's, the first one is this open chord, and then the 1st finger goes on this 2nd fret here, and this one stays on that 1st fret of the G string. So it's, and and then you just slide this up 2 frets. So now you're on the 4th fret and the 3rd fret instead of the 2nd fret and the 1st fret for this finger. So this is another slide up, but instead of using this 1st finger, you want to use this 3rd finger here to kind of match with the 1st finger. So they're both on the 5th fret. So all together that looks like. And then kind of do a refrain of the intro. And then your final 2 chords are this chord which you've been using, which is the 1st finger on the 2nd fret of the 2nd string, and then the 1st fret of the G string is your 1st finger. And then open chord. So what that looks like from the beginning of that refrain is Alright, well that should be the whole song. I hope you enjoyed the lesson slash tutorial. I'm not good with making tabs or sheet music or anything, so this is about all I can do. And please feel free to check out my cover of the song as well as Josh's live version and of course the studio version of the song. So thank you. I hope you enjoy. Have a nice day.